Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to Unfiltered. I am your host, RL, and I am here at Digital Impact Studios. I want to say to the men out there, happy belated Father's Day. I know I said at the last show I was going to try and sneak a show in before Father's Day. Hey, but life be life, if you understand what I'm saying. But definitely happy fathers to all the fathers out there. Speaking from that perspective, being a father is a great thing. It's one of the best joys in my life. At times it can be challenging, and challenging not because of the children, but because of complicated relationships that adults create. So, gentlemen, if you're going through anything like that, keep pushing through, keep praying, be open about it, find someone to talk to. Remember, it's June, so it's Men's Mental Health Month, okay? So it's Father's Day just passed, but it's our whole month, Men's Mental Health Month. So, but look, keep on being fathers, keep on being men, keep pushing through. Your children need you, children appreciate it, and we need you as well. So I just want to recap two things from the last show. First, I want to apologize because I got some bad information about Tia Mowry. So she never came out and said that she regret divorcing or leaving her husband, Corey. She just spoke on the dating woes, and she did leave a good guy, and she just sounded really down in the interview. I got the whole interview. I got a couple of those interviews. So I misspoke on that. So I take it back. I take back what I said, but I mean what I said in totality, because she's still having a good time. I happened to come across one of the interviews, and one of the interviews, she pretty much said she graduated out of her marriage. And I wish I would have saw that 2 weeks ago, because that is insane. I didn't know you can graduate out of marriage, especially since, the main goal is to pretty much die together, But she graduated out of marriage, fellas. So make sure before you say I do, find out when this young lady will be receiving her diploma during your marriage, because she will be leaving you behind, because she will be graduating. Second, Vivica Fox. I think you guys missed what I was saying. In fact, I know you missed what I was saying. Miss Vivica Fox is a beautiful 60-year-old woman. I never said she was unattractive. Not once did you hear me say she was unattractive. It was wordplay with her name, Vivica Fox, Vivica Elephant. You get it? Wordplay, the two animals, right? It's a lot better than Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb said she looked like Goro from Mortal Kombat. At least I kept it in the same realm as the animal. You understand? But, y'all came at me pretty hard, and I figured I would say this to y'all. I don't care. You can't hurt me, okay? It's my opinion just like it's your opinion. At the end of the day, one of the issues that a lot of women have in this country is the truth. Have a hard time dealing with the truth. 60 years old is 60 years old. It is what it is. Okay? And if it's easy, if she think it's going to be easy, and if you feel like, oh no, there's somebody for her out here, chew on this. Bill Belichick has a new girlfriend. Bill Belichick used to be the coach for the New England Patriots that made over $100 million in career earnings, right? His new girlfriend, again, Bill is 72. His new girlfriend is 24. He's 72. He went and got himself a 24-year-old girlfriend. You know why? Because Bill wants to have fun. He do not want a 60-year-old woman, whether she have money or not. All I'm saying is, at 60 years old, as a woman, you got to look like Angela Bassett to get a man, a good man, a man with some money. But Angela Bassett's been off the market for over 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. You see, she was smart. But I digress. I'm going to move on from Miss Vivica Fox. I don't want any problems, y'all. I don't want any problems. I'm just here to have conversation with you, get it going, get the blood flowing. You understand what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. All right. Before we jump out of state, I want to give a shout out to Black Excellence, our governor, Wes Moore. Okay. Recently, he pardoned over 175,000 marijuana convictions. That is huge. That is incredibly huge. Seeing as how black people, black Marylanders, were 3 times more than likely to be arrested for marijuana than white people. That is huge. I want to give a huge shout out to him for that. That was huge. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It makes you think about our politicians who've been in place for years, councilmen and councilwomen, and all that they have promised, right? And Wes Moore come out of the cornfields, and he talked, but he don't do a lot of talking. The man is about action, and I like that. I like that. Salute to him. Salute to him. So let's get to the gas. And when I say gas, I'm talking about goofy ass shit. Rob Schneider. You might know Rob Schneider from movies such as Hot Chicks, Animal, Deuce Bigalow, one of Adam Sandler's homeboys. Okay? He's had a rough 3 weeks. Okay? So 3 weeks ago, he was kicked off stage in Canada at a charity event for making piss poor transgender jokes. Okay? Week later, he goes on an interview and he starts speaking about Will Smith. Will Smith. Now, before we get to what he said about Will Smith, we're talking about Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider's about 5'3", 5'4", right? If it isn't for Adam Sandler, he's not relevant. Adam Sandler has had a hand in each one of his movies. And then in all of Adam Sandler movies, Rob Schneider shows up in. So Adam Sandler keeps his boy paid. But his boy is not relevant. His boy is not on the same level as Adam Sandler or Will Smith. But he decides, because you know he's from the Saturday Night Live crew and Chris Rock is his friend, but he decides to pop shots at Will Smith. Calling him a fraud, a liar, an asshole, you know, just a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, wow, who is this dude? And I know this dude because the dude is funny in his movies. But I'm just like, wow. He's really comfortable with talking about Will Smith. He said he couldn't say anything at first because he was on the committee for the Oscars, so he really couldn't say anything. And he was disappointed that the Oscars didn't do anything. Right? Because they was afraid it would be, oh, you're racist, you're racist. But he's speaking now because Chris Rock is his friend, and he's just like, man, he's popping shots at Will Smith, calling him a liar, a fraud, he's a mean person. And I'm like, wow, Rob Schneider, Deuce Bigalow. That's something. 2 years later, and Rob Schneider want to say something about Will Smith, but got kicked off a stage in Canada, a charity event for piss poor jokes. Something special. Oh, he also said Will Smith was a douchebag. If you see the interview, if you come across it, watch it. He looks really bad in the interview. He looked like he's been drinking. He looked like he's on a wagon. I don't know. It's something going on with Rob Schneider. I pray he get the help that he needs, because going after Will Smith, well, I'm not having it. I'm not having it at all. And speaking of Will Smith, I had another good friend of mine, another brother that I look up to, that I love as a journalist, right? ESPN's top dog, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, if you don't know, he's on ESPN. He's the major player at ESPN when it comes to the shows, right? He's the man. He had a little issue a couple of weeks ago with Monica McNutt and the WNBA and all that good stuff, but he is the man. Now, he's a sports journalist, but he do have a podcast after hours, okay? But for whatever reason, he went on his podcast and said he don't really care about anything that Will Smith is going to be in or anything that he's going to do. He don't care about Bad Boys because he feels like Will Smith still owes the black community an explanation for smacking Chris Rock. And it took me back some because I'm sitting here, I'm like, Will Smith doesn't owe anyone an explanation. It's been 2 years, for real. Let's be honest. It's been 2 years. Now, I know he and Chris Rock haven't sat down. Chris, he reached out to Rock. Rock said he wasn't, hey, look, I ain't ready to talk to him. Will Smith said, hey, he's not ready to talk to me. Right? Yeah, it happened on TV live in front of millions of viewers. But that is still something between Chris Rock and Will Smith. I thought it was in very poor taste that Stephen A. Smith decided to speak on it. Not just speak on it, but who are you to say that Will Smith owed the black community? You don't speak for the black community, brother. You are one of us, and you have done excellent. And you have paved the way for so many of us. Appreciate you. Continue being black and excellent. But don't speak for the black community. Do not do that. Because you better be right. You better be right. Because I don't have a problem with Will Smith. Like I said, it's June. Men's Mental Health Month. With all that Will Smith has been through in his marriage, and you say he owe us an explanation as to why he did what he did? And that's just another example of people really do not care about men's mental health. We ain't even gonna speak about the black male mental health. Well, we're just gonna say men, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it a race thing. It's men's mental health. I don't want to make it a black thing. I can't imagine what Will Smith had built up inside of him. The amount of embarrassment, frustration, insecurities. Let me talking about Will Smith. Independence Day, saving the world. We talking about Hitch, right? Giving advice in the movies about how you get a woman, right? Enemy of the State. Wild Wild West. It doesn't mean this man isn't going through something in his life and his marriage. And we all watched it. We all joked about it. We all made funny memes about it. It was entertaining to us. And then it wasn't entertaining when he smacked Chris Rock. Stephen A., I expected a little bit more from you. You're still my guy, but I was really disappointed to see that you did something like that. Stephen A. went on furthermore to say that, after the incident, he had a great movie, Emancipation, with him and Mr. Fuqua did together, and that possibly could have won an award. But of course, the Academy, they didn't touch it, possibly because of the incident, and he was right on that. They probably like, because they blocked him for 10 years from being in. So, but I didn't like that. And I said it before, I said it on social media. I don't, it's fun to have fun. It's okay to have fun with some of these things. It's entertaining. It's great conversation piece. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But there's some people that you already know they're going through something. Just leave them alone. Let them go through it, and hopefully they heal. And it looked like since that incident, I hate to say it, since the smack, he's been doing all right. It's been 2 years. Nothing is overnight. Brother look like he's healing. Now, I don't know him. I don't know if he's healing, but he looks like he's healing because the months after that incident, whenever you saw Will wasn't really smiling. And I see the brother smiling a whole lot more. I'm happy for him and Martin Lawrence. Bad Boys in 7 days have done $1 billion. It took $100 million to make the movie. Yeah, 10 times over. Congratulations to them. I saw it. Bad Boys was excellent. The best one yet. So congratulations to him. Looking forward to more movies from Will Smith. And know the brother is not canceled for those who thought, oh, ain't nobody going to go see the movie. You lost your mind. I don't know when the last time I went to a movie opening weekend. I was there. Thank you. Thank you. So moving on to a younger brother. Now, I don't really know too much about this man. My kids do, but I don't. I'm talking about 21 Savage. 21 Savage. Let me tell you something. I don't know too much about him, but the comments he made, yeah, savage. So, and I'm going to tell you what's so crazy about this. I was in a conversation the other day about R&B songs. R&B is not like it used to be. The 90s, the early to mid 2000s, possibly going into 2010s, but it's been about 14 or 15 years that since we had some real good R&B, especially from some men. Now, Usher and Chris Brown, totally different R&B, right? Totally different. Don't get me wrong. Those brothers are R&B, but it's more upscale, dancing, just you feel good music, right? Chris Brown, you know, he's talking about getting with a woman and doing a whole lot of freaky deaky, nasty things. And you know, I'm with it. Like, go, yeah, come on, put that song on, girl. But I'm talking about R&B. I'm talking about Boyz II Men, Jodeci, Music Soul Child, Joe Avant, Shy, right? Tevin Campbell. Okay? It's just not there anymore, right? It's just not there. And this is 21 Savage take on it. He says the reason why R&B singers haven't made love songs for women, and I quote, y'all bitches some hoes. Now nobody singing to y'all. Everybody selling pussy. Ain't nobody singing for that. And I read it, and I fell out laughing. I thought it was hilarious. But it's the truth. It is the God's honest truth. Who are you singing R&B songs for? Women with some class, right? When you think about when you meet a young lady and you like her, right? And I'm speaking from my experience. I'm excited for the first date because so much preparation goes into the first date. And I'm talking about for me. So much preparation. The haircut. I'm going to the salon. I'm getting a manicure, pedicure, because I want to be fresh. I want her to see me at my best. I'm taking my car, getting it detailed, right? And I got all of the smooth songs, all of it, just ready to be played in my car. When she gets in my car, there is a song for her deliberately playing for her, and it's going to be on a certain verse, right? It might ain't be the whole song, but there's going to be an R&B playlist for her during our evening while we're in the car, right? I'm talking about you want to woo this woman. You want to impress her. You want to make her feel like the queen she is. Flowers, open doors, pull out chairs, nice restaurant. Run up the tab, baby. Go ahead, baby. I got you. I got you. It's different now, fellas. It's different now. You go on a date. She come out the house. She left classy upstairs. I don't know, in the closet somewhere. She come out, she looking like Sexy Red. You may as well turn that Jodeci off. That Jodeci ain't gonna do anything for her. She's gonna probably turn it off for you. She's gonna probably ask you to play something else, right? She ain't trying to hear that R&B no more. These young ladies out here today, and I say young ladies, I'm talking about these, young ladies. They're teenagers, late teens, 18, 19, and their 20s. And anybody in their 30s, if Lord have mercy, if you haven't figured out how to conduct yourself when you're out with a gentleman, shame on you. But these young ladies, he's absolutely right. Now, I'm not going to go as far as say y'all bitches, some hoes, and, y'all selling your kitty cat. I'm not going to go that far. But I understand what he's saying when he say y'all selling your kitty cat. OnlyFans is popping, baby. OnlyFans is popping. Everybody got an OnlyFans page. Some of y'all do not need an OnlyFans page. Y'all don't. Y'all just need a only page. Only for the lonely. You ain't gonna have no fans, but you got pictures and videos up, and ain't nobody trying to see you. But besides that, it is what it is. Today's women, young women, are easy. They are in the scene just as much as the guys are, if not more. Drinking, heavy, popping pills, heavy, right? It is what it is. So I felt what he was saying, and I felt bad for him, right? Because in his way, he's saying, ain't no good women out here for real. So you got to read between the lines. You'll read what he said, and you'll be like, damn, he's pretty harsh, man. That's pretty ignorant. But he's not lying. He's telling the truth. There's not that many classy women out here anymore. You can turn to social media and check for yourself. I go to Facebook and I just watch videos. It's these gentlemen, they have these nice cars, right? But they get outside their cars and they just wait for an attractive woman to walk down the street, and they go to talk to them, right? And they dress, they all right, you know what I'm saying? They got all nice little get up, jewelry, stuff like that. They well groomed and they're polite as hell. And they approach these women who are attractive, outfits a little slutty. I ain't gonna lie to you, a little slutty, right? And these gentlemen approach them and they're like, hey, excuse me, my name is something, what is your name? And these ladies are like, I don't have a name. I gotta be here. Ooh, don't touch me. Why are you talking to me? Ooh, stop. I'm getting stalker vibes. And like real ignorant to these brothers who are real polite to them. And eventually they turn around, they say, okay, well, have a nice day. And they walk back and they hit the key fob and it boop, boop on their car alarm, unlock the car, and the girls turn around and they see the car. They see the car. One girl ran back to the dude Lambo. She tapping on the glass, the driver's side glass, and gonna ask him a stupid question. Is that your car? So the same energy she gave him on the sidewalk, he gave it back to her. They all do. And I watch these videos all the time. And I'm just like, man, these women are so shallow. Shallow. Because see, all they want to do is get in the car on the passenger seat, and hopefully they can get a meal. Hey, you can look like you can afford to buy me this bag and take me to Steak 48 and do X, Y, and Z and all of this, right? And dude is like, well, what you gonna do for me? She was like, well, take me shopping and, we'll find out later on. He's like, well, I ain't doing all that. We can go back to the crib. She's like, well, no, you gotta buy me a bag. You gotta do something. Don't even know really if the man have money, but in his pocket. You see the videos enough on social media. I know it's not every woman, but man, it's a large percentage of y'all young ladies out here. Do anything for a bag, anything for a come up. Hell, I don't know what's worse. The young lady who's chasing the bag, or the young lady who goes to school, better herself, get an education, to I guess to feel like she can prove to us men, oh, I don't need you. That's what we dealing with in the world today. That's what men have to deal with. You have these OnlyFans chicks, then you have these educated chicks. Very few in between, very few in the middle, right here, very few. You're fortunate if you can find one. So if you do, hold on to her. Because it's hard out here dating, man. It's hard. So I felt 21 Savage saying, you know, when he made that comment, it's explicit as hell, but I get it. I get it. You need inspiration when you go in the studio. Jodeci went in the studio, Forever My Lady, right? Boys to Men, When I Make Love to You, Tyrese, Sweet Lady. No, come on, man. Who gonna sing songs today similar to those songs? Not with the presentation that a lot of these women are presenting us with, are offering, right? Notice how things have flipped. Because 20 years ago, they was dogging men real heavy. Baggy pants, hanging off, long ass t-shirts. Women, y'all ain't got nothing to choose from. 20 years later, now men ain't got too much to choose from either. I'm not sure if y'all think it's balancing out, but it really isn't. And I feel for a lot of people, men and women out here on the dating scene, because there's not enough class out here. It just isn't. Moving right along. Like I said, goofy ass shit. This the gas section. Goofy ass shit. Y'all know who Tom Brady is. I spoke about his coach, former coach not too long ago, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. Tom Brady, about 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, participated in the Tom Brady's roast. He got paid a couple $1 million for that roast. I didn't know they paid that nice, right? You can roast me for $2 million. I don't give a shit. But Tom Brady got paid handsomely to be roasted. And during the roast, if you have not seen the roast, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably one of the best, if not the best roast ever. And I watched a few of them on Comedy Central over the years. Richard Pryor, I've seen a few of them. I thought Richard Pryor's roast was, oh my goodness, that was hardcore. Richard Pryor's roast was hardcore. Okay? Tom Brady's roast, they kept it coming. So, Tom Brady was married to Giselle. I ain't even going to try to pronounce her maiden name. I'm going to butcher it. I'm just going to say it was just his ex-wife, Giselle. Okay? Giselle is taken to the airwaves and say, because of the roast and all of the commentary, her and her now boyfriend has broken up, gone their own way. Now, if you know about Giselle's boyfriend, you know Giselle's boyfriend, Giselle was seeing this man while she was still married to Tom Brady. Okay? She left Tom Brady, the GOAT, to be with her karate instructor. Can't make that shit up. Tom Brady, quarterback for the New England Patriots, I think 7 Super Bowls, right? The most passing yards in NFL history, right? The man who wear Uggs in his house, right? She left him for a Mr. Miyagi, a karate kid, okay? Her karate instructor, of all things, not the aerobics instructor, the fitness trainer, the kung fu man. So she's blaming the roast because of the commentary. And when I say that they kept coming at Tom Brady about his wife leaving him for the kung fu dude, I mean, they just kept coming. comedian after comedian just kept, it was one of their punchlines. Bam. Karate Man. Bam. Now, after the roast, if you paid attention, if you saw it, Tom Brady was like, I wish I never did it. It's affected my family, my children, blah, 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 blah. You know how it affected their children? I'm going to tell you how it affected their children. Their children found out that their mother's a skank. Their children found out that mommy cheated on their father. And that's why they're no longer living under the same roof. You got to sit down and you got to try to explain to children, right? And that's what Giselle was doing, because Tom ain't got to explain shit. You cheated. That's on you. So Giselle is trying to maneuver and fix what's going on with her kids, trying not to make herself look like the bad guy. But you are the bad guy. This is the reason why Giselle said she stepped out, or one of the reasons, because Tom was never home. He was always focused on football. Tom Brady's the damn GOAT, lady. You're with the GOAT, right? It'd be different if Tom Brady got caught up in a scandal with a skank like Brett Favre. If you remember 20-something years ago, Brett Favre got caught up in a scandal, cell phone scandal. He was sending dick pics to some chick, right? Okay, I can understand. Tom Brady didn't have any outside of, cheating in the football games, but he didn't have any scandals with women. She couldn't take him focused on his career that made them hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Let's be honest. Now, I'm not sure in your world, I didn't know who the hell Giselle was until Tom Brady got with her. People say, oh, she was a model. She has money. She has her own money. I don't care. I know who Naomi Campbell is, right? She made a lot of money, but you didn't see her like you saw Giselle because of Tom Brady. Giselle was plastered everywhere because of Tom Brady. She had her own money, but she lived a damn good life. Their kids lived a damn good life. And you threw it away. Tom can't play football forever. He has to retire. The man is in his 40s. And in fact, retiring in your 40s is damn good considering what the rest of the blue collars in the world is looking at. Shit, they may not even retire or afford to. But him playing football was a problem for her. She met him. He was a football player. So she decided to date and sleep around with the Karate Man. So her and the Karate Man, it's crazy. They break up. If I'm going to leave my spouse for somebody, me and you, we up next. We're getting married. I'm saying that you are a better person. You are a better partner. You and I are getting married. Tom and Giselle are divorced, been divorced. So why didn't you marry the Karate Man? Inexcusable. But I'm going to tell you what it is. See, and I'm going to say it again. A lot of y'all women do not like to be held accountable. That word begins with an A and has 2 C's in it. Y'all hate to be held accountable. And now you blaming Tom. Once again, you blaming Tom. Tom is not a comedian. He's not a comedian. For all the things that were said and has affected your relationship and y'all children. Don't get mad because your kids know that you a hoe. It is what it is. You was hoeing around. I'm going to tell you the crazy thing is, if it was the other way around, better believe, she would have been in all the interviews in the world talking about how Tom did her wrong, how he cheated on her with all these women. And the kids would know. Because women are notorious for having those conversations, those arguments, those debates with you in front of the kids, and will cut you deep by leaking out information that shouldn't be told in front of the kids. Shouldn't be said in front of the kids. Kids shouldn't have knowledge of. But see, it's other way around. Mommy looked like the bad person. Mommy's the reason why daddy doesn't live with us anymore. Someone who is very close to them. When Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, he welcomed a young man by the name of Antonio Brown, AB, Pittsburgh star wide receiver. Now head case. But anyway, when he was down there, when they won the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, there is a picture of Gisele and Antonio Brown embraced, and like she's like in the moment, and she's holding AB and he's holding her, and never really thought, me personally, never really thought too much about it, right? Never thought too much about it. But then Antonio Brown, for whatever sick reasons, started hinting to, yeah, me and Tom's wife sort of kind of mess around. She wants me. Look how she look at me. Why would another man's wife be all up on another man if she was faithful? So Gisele's catching it. You see what I'm saying? She's catching it. She's catching it, and she's failing on it. You know, that's just, it is what it is. It is what it is for her. But Antonio Brown, he also made the news this week. Let me tell you something. Antonio Brown was an incredible football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. About 7 to 8 years ago, he took a vicious hit from one of the linebackers for the Cincinnati Bengals. And mentally, he hasn't been right since. And I feel really bad for him because I remember when he first came in the league, he was a player that I followed because he was a single father and he was raising his children by himself. Matter of fact, he was raising his children by himself and paying child support for the mother who wasn't in the picture. And I was like, damn, that man is awesome. So it do hurt to see him with these mental health issues, because it can't be anything else, because this is uncharacteristic for him, right? So he takes a crack at the issue with the WNBA recently. And I don't know where it came from, but he said that the WNBA is a charity for lesbians. Shorty, you crazy. That is a charity for lesbians. I love women's sports. I watch women's softball, women's NCAA basketball. I watch the WNBA, the Mystics. That's my team, right? We would have won 2 championships if my girl wouldn't have got hurt during the playoffs. But we won the following year, so it's all good. Love Dawn Staley. Huge Dawn Staley fan. Lisa Leslie. Whew. Love them, right? Swoops. Oh, my goodness, right? Look, I have fun up on here. It's a podcast. I have fun. I take stuff that, make headlines and I spit my views on it, right? But this right here, this is something that we can't do. We cannot do. We cannot attack our women. Doesn't matter what color they are. We cannot attack our women. We need to uplift them. They play just as hard, if not harder, than the men. They give their all. And when the season is over, they go fly overseas to play for another team for another season, because they don't make the money that the men make. The WNBA is not a charity for lesbians. They are women. Respect them, respect that. Are there gay women in the WNBA? Yes, yes, yes. But you know what? Most of them, they ain't hiding it. They're not hiding it. Are there gay men in the NBA? Yeah, but they're hiding it. They're hiding it. So respect those women for being who they choose to be and living their life to the fullest and doing it on camera so the whole world can see. That was very classless. That was a classless act, and I hope and I pray to God that AB get the help that he needs and he deserves. Because before they hit Antonio Brown, you didn't hear much from Antonio Brown. You didn't. And this is where these big sports leagues, the NFL, NHL, you really need to put player safety, not just player safety, but mental health first. You really need to. There need to be money put to the side for these individuals because he needs help. He needs help. The man filed for bankruptcy a couple of months ago. He done made over $100 million in his life, and he filed for bankruptcy, right? He had a Canadian football team. He was the owner of a Canadian football team. He walks into the locker room with shotguns. Somebody please help that young man. We're going to pray for him. We're going to lift him up in prayer. And I just hope the young man gets some help. I really do. Moving on to the next. Hey, y'all notice, I'm talking about men this show. Hey, y'all notice that. Y'all come on now, give it to me. I'm talking about men this show. I don't think I have anything on you ladies this show. It's just men. I mean, even though I got on Giselle, but it is what it is. It's just between her and Tom. I can't help that. Chris Breezy, my man Chris Brown is touring the nation. And once again, he has the option for fans to pay for a picture with him. People. Why? Why are you spending $1,100 to take a picture with Chris Brown? Not Chris Brown, but any celebrity. $1,100 to take a picture with Chris Brown. This young lady, heck, she go by the name of Key, or her name is Key. And she did that. She bought the package and she took a nice picture with Chris Brown. It's a real nice picture, right? I got to take a sip because this right here just... And once again, thank you, Rock. So, it's a nice picture. He's hugging her from behind. He's hugging her from behind. He got his arms around her waist. She's smiling. He's leaned up on her. Body. They're spooning. They're standing up and fucking spooning. That's what they're doing. They're freaking spooning. Okay? Everybody lost their mind when Alicia Keys and Usher did something similar to that during the Super Bowl. They were singing. And it was their song that they did together years ago. And people lost their mind. But no one seems to think this is a problem with the Chris Brown picture taking thing. And so the young lady took this nice picture, came home, and for a week, her and her man argued about it, and he finally broke up with her. And she said, I don't care. I'll do it again. It was worth it. Fellas, pay attention. Pay attention. Remember, we just spoke about what 21 Savage said. Most of these young ladies are for the streets, man. They for the streets. Her relationship was worth breaking up. Worth losing a man, right? Over $1,100 that she paid for a picture. It was worth it. It was worth it. In a few months, Chris Brown won't even remember what she looked like. Hell, he probably forgot what she looked like once he got back into his car that night. But it was worth breaking up her relationship. Now, some of y'all probably say, they probably wasn't dating long. They just boyfriend and girlfriend. That's all. Let me tell you something. When you're in a relationship, you're putting work in. You're looking out for one another. You care for each other. You care about one another's feelings, right? You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, right? Why do you need a picture with Chris Brown? Right? Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's no other pose that's going to be done. What kind of pose do you want to do? You done paid $1,100. Hell, sweetheart, you should have went ahead and gave him a kiss. Should have put your leg up around his waist. You should have let him hold you like a baby. I'd have broke up with you for the $1,100. What are you, stupid? What are you, stupid? And you have these young ladies and people say, you don't know what kind of money she had. Let me tell y'all something. People with money aren't paying $1,100 to take a picture with a celebrity. I'll tell you that right now. People with money don't do that. People who have a hard time paying rent, people who have cars but can't pay for car insurance, do that. People who don't have Xfinity for their mobile device, right? They got, and forgive me, Cricket. They got Cricket, right? Think about it. Think about it. Insane. The picture was insane, but it's the money. I'm looking at $1,100. $1,100. Nah, ain't hell no. I'd have broke up with you, shorty, soon as I seen that debit charge. The hell is wrong with you? When the last time you spent $1,100 on your man? Your man that you're intimate with. Come on, $1,100 for. I love Chris Brown, but I put it like this: I love me some Nia Long. Been loving Nia Long for 30 years, since Friday. I wish I would pay $1,100 to take a picture with Nia Long. Shit. Hell no. Nia Long need to pay $1,100 to take a picture with me. I ain't paying that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But fellas, once again, these young ladies, they for the streets, man. They for the streets. Once again, let me throw out there, June is Men's Mental Health Month. Okay, fellas? If you got something going on in your life, you feel like you have nowhere to turn, talk to somebody. Please talk to somebody. It's important. We need you guys. Believe it or not, you are enough. You are wanted, and we need you in this world. I'm gonna slide on over. Man, I'm doing good tonight, man. I'm cranking out the dudes, man. I'm cranking out the dudes, man. Oh my goodness. Donald Trump. What can I say about the Donald? Donald Trump is probably the worst human being I ever heard of. And I'm gonna tell you what the crazy part is. See, I wasn't around during Hitler, and Hitler was freaking awful. He was freaking awful, right? But from what I read and studied about Hitler, he was nothing like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the devil. Do your research. I know some of y'all are like, no, Hitler did this, and yes, he did, and evil man for it. But research Hitler. You ain't got to research Trump. Trump is on social media. He's on your CNN. He's all over the place. This past weekend, this Donald Trump went to Detroit, and he went to the ghetto, the hood. He went to a black church. And on Saturday, and they sat down, had a round table discussion. You know, looking to win over the black voters there. Right? If you see the video clip, it's a black church, but you got a whole lot of white people in that church. You got more white people than black people in that church. But it's still a black church in the hood. Donald Trump went there. Right? The church had people who was holding signs. Black Americans for Trump. Right? The pastor said he thought it was a joke when they called and said that Donald Trump wanted to come by. He said, I didn't, what? We coming here? Oh my goodness. He's coming to see us? Wow. And was just, in awe and shock, because he said Obama didn't come and Joe Biden didn't come. Joe Biden came to the NAACP big dinner, but That was it. He didn't stop by to see the hood. Why? Why are we being tricked, duped, and fooled by Donald Trump? Black Americans, black people. Oh, he came to the hood. Yeah. Y'all had the Klan in y'all hood. The same man that caused all that ruckus in D.C. a couple years ago. That's who y'all had in y'all hood. Right? Nothing. Y'all look past that. Y'all look right past that. That man is for the Klan. Supports the Klan. And he came into y'all hood and left unscathed. But y'all are proud of that, Detroit. Y'all are proud of that. Donald Trump is one of the worst human beings in history. Horrible man. And he was in Detroit. You know, I ain't too surprised because nothing's come out of Detroit great since Barry Sanders. I can't remember the young mayor y'all had about 15, 16 years ago. Unfortunately, he went to jail. Y'all, what's wrong with y'all, Detroit? When y'all had him in your church at that round table discussion, if I'm not mistaken, he took over in 2016, right? When Flint, Michigan water was still polluted, lead at an all-time high, if I'm not mistaken, why didn't y'all ask him, hey, how come you didn't come then and help us with our resources? Y'all worried about Obama and Joe Biden. You had y'all former president who was in the office for 4 years, who dropped the ball when it came to COVID, said it didn't exist. Y'all had the man right there. We lost almost 2 years of our lives because he was irresponsible, negligent in his duties as the president. And y'all welcome him into your church and bragging about it. Shorty, y'all crazy. Y'all had the devil in your church. And y'all bragging about it. Y'all welcome him. Pulled out the nice chairs, right? Got the fancy silverware, right? Donald Trump coming. Y'all had the Klansmen right there, sitting next to you. You think when he left there, he was like, oh, you know what? Those my people. He left there feeling like, I got them niggas. Yeah, I got them niggas. I'm not surprised about the black rich celebrities, the rappers. I'm not surprised because they have money. So they're in the same tax bracket as Donald Trump. So of course they want Trump in office. They want those tax breaks. But blue collar people, middle class people, lower class people, what are y'all doing? What are you doing? Now, don't get me wrong. Joe Biden is not the answer. But if I got to choose between the two evils, I'm going to go with the motherfucker that's falling asleep on the microphone during the interview. I'm not voting for the orange-faced clown. I'm just not. Come on now. Come on. Make it make sense, people. You got to make it make sense for me. He had families broken up, torn apart, placed in camps, the same way Hitler did. He had a father taken from his home, right? Sent back to Mexico, right? He served in the Marine Corps. He served this country and he tore that man out of his house, away from your wife and children. And y'all welcome him. Y'all will welcome to your church. And you wonder why people don't view the black church the same way they used to. You got these phony bishops and pastors out here. Got another bishop, I can't even think of the dude's name. He's about to do 9 years. 9 years for scams. You wonder why people run away from the church. You wonder why people are more likely to pick up their cell phone and just get their information, get their religion from social media than go to church. Because of shit like that. In Detroit, the Motor City. Ain't that something? That's special right there, people. That's special. He's running for president. This man legally cannot own a firearm. And y'all want to put him in office? Well, he's overseeing nukes. Shorty, y'all crazy, man. Y'all are crazy. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Clout chasers. Y'all just taking selfies with him. He's smiling. Come on, we got to be better than that, people. You got to be smarter than that. Definitely got to be smarter than that. I can't wait for when Wes Moore get the opportunity to run for president of the United States. There's a man right there who is looking at humanity, and he's trying to do everything in his power to correct a lot of wrongs. We got to start going to the polls and knowing who we're voting for. We have to do the research. Don't wait for commercials or someone to walk down your street to come on your porch, or for some celebrity to pull a politician on stage and say, hey, this is my guy. Do your own homework. Do your own research. You can't go to the polls and vote Democrat, Republican, Independent. You can't. The House is going to be divided. The House is going to be screwed up. You got to figure out which team you're on. If you are a Democratic, be a Democratic. If you're a Republican, be a Republican. Okay? You're independent, y'all ain't never going to win. It is what it is. But if you're independent, be independent. But you got to do your homework, people. You got to do your research. Don't wait for CNN. Don't wait for them goofy-ass people to tell you who to vote for. Or the next time you look up, Sunday morning, you think you're going to praise Jesus, pay your tithes? Donald Trump. Someone like Donald Trump, if not Donald Trump, is going to be coming in there, walking through those doors, smiling at you, shaking hands, talking about he's done more. He said it again this weekend. Him and his people have done more for black people than Abraham Lincoln. Shorty, you crazy. You're absolutely crazy. Before I wrap up tonight, I want to give shout outs and acknowledgments. First, I want to say congratulations to Tank Davis for knocking that boy out. Boy, that was cold, man. That was cold. That was cold. Tank is the man, boy. He's representing Baltimore perfectly. Black excellence. Black excellence. I also want to give a shout out to Shannon Sharp, who received a contract extension with ESPN. Again, Stephen A. is a great man. He's an incredible person. And if not for Stephen A., Shannon Sharp wouldn't have gotten the opportunity. Stephen A. brought Shannon Sharp on after the show with Skip Bayless. So congratulations to Shannon Sharp. But again, Stephen A. is a man. He's a great man. I just wonder about my dude sometimes. I want to give a special shout out. Again, remember, this is June. It's Men's Mental Health Month. And I bet you a lot of y'all didn't even know it. Right? Father's Day in the same month as Pride. You hear more about Pride than anything in June. And, that's cool. I have nothing against it. But it seemed like every time you turn around, man, when it comes to men, all of us or all of our dealings get pushed in the closet. They shove it in the closet and close the door. They tell you need to be tough enough. Suck it up. Oh, you're a man, deal with it, right? And you have a lot of men out here who are hurting inside. But when you see them, they're smiling. They're laughing, and it looks like they're having a good time. You know? And they're not. They're in pain. A lot of people don't know what depression is. I'm going to give you an example of depression. I have a friend, right? I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I have a friend. And they went in the other room real quick. I ain't pay no mind to it, right? They went out of the room real quick. We all out in the living room chilling, whatever. And I'm thinking, yo, where my man at? So I go in the room, right? I don't knock on the door because it's just him. I go in the room. My man is crying uncontrollably. He's crying. I'm like, yo, what's up? What's wrong? What happened? Did someone die? And he put his hand up to stop me from coming near him. His arm was just trembling. I closed the door, and I stayed away from him. And about 5 minutes went by with silence for 5 minutes. And my man's been through a lot in his life. But the situation he's going through, it had to do with custody of his kids, child support, not feeling like you have enough money to do anything. And he said to me, he was like, bro, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. And I'm like, damn, yo, is there anything I can do? And he said, no. He said, there's nothing anyone can do. Now, at that time, I didn't realize how serious the situation was. A couple of days later, he did try to kill himself, but he was unsuccessful. And I went to go see him, and we talked. I'm not going to disclose what we talked about, but we talked, and he's been getting help ever since. It was an eye-opener for me because I've been depressed. And sometimes you're depressed and you don't know you're depressed, fellas. But this is for anybody, man or woman. Sometimes you're depressed, you don't know you're depressed until it all come crashing down. But there's people who love you. Believe it or not, I know you don't feel like it, but there's people who love you, and there's people who need you in this world and want you in this world. Your children, your spouse, your mother, your father, your siblings, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your coworkers. Believe it or not, there's people out there that look forward to seeing your face every day. Every day. Okay? Hey, look, reach out, talk to someone. If not, call the suicide prevention line. You can go online and you can just type that up and a whole bunch of numbers will come up for you. Okay? Hey, look, I hate to end it on a note like that, but it is Men's Mental Health Month. And it's time for us to start taking it a little bit more serious than what it have been. Okay? With all that being said, I want to thank Digital Empath Studios for housing me, giving me a place to come in here and do my thing. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I've been doing this for 2015. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Until next time, peace.